Welcome to another Journalist Toolbox training. My name is Mike Riley, the founder and editor of the Journalist Toolbox. Today we're going to talk about diverse expert sources and finding diverse expert sources for your stories. Before we get started, I just wanted to remind you about journalisttoolbox.org. That's journalists plural. Journalisttoolbox.org has been with SPJ for a little over 15 years. It's updated daily, includes all kinds of training videos, different topics that are relevant to journalists, ranging from public records and digital security and data journalism to finding expert sources. And you almost always find this expert sources link out here on the homepage. The site is free, so do take advantage of it. You can hit browse topics over here on the right-hand side. And in that pull-down menu, you'll find many other topics other than just what's featured on the homepage. Up here in the upper right-hand corner, we have a link to a newsletter and training videos, of which you're watching one right now. Our YouTube channel, which you can subscribe to here in the upper right, has nearly 70 training videos in it. So they range in length from 3 minutes up to about 15 minutes. So take advantage of it and use these free training videos in your newsroom or your classroom. We also have a link in the upper right corner to a newsletter. This newsletter is on Substack. It comes out every 2 weeks, every other Tuesday. It usually arrives around 8 a.m. Central Time. So, it's not going to clog up your mailbox. It just comes every 2 weeks. And it always features a different topic. This one was a 2021 favorite tools year in review. And then, usually has a training video in it and some, current tools that are relevant to journalists and a quote at the end. Again, it's short and sweet, but it keeps you up to speed on tools that are relevant to journalists. So if you could, go to the homepage right now, maybe hit pause, and click on the expert sources page. We do have some experts on the diversity page, but go to the expert sources page because we're going to use several links off of that page, and it will take you right here. So there are 3 sections to the expert sources page. Recent updates, which are, links to tools that I've put up in the last month or so. Find diverse experts, which is this first section here. You can see it's pretty robust. And then find other expert sources. These are kind of more broad-based expert databases, and we'll look at a couple of these as well. So you'll find up here in this top section, sources of color, which this website has been out for a little over a year now. It's formed a partnership with PRSA and SPJ. And you could go in here. It's free for journalists. PR pros, you've got to pay a little fee with it. You can register in the database, and you can go in then and start opening up their profiles here. Or you can go through and narrow it down by different topics or industries, cities, and states as well. They're adding more people here, daily, so this is growing exponentially. Another good one is diversesources.org, which is on the page right here. It's the second one down. Diversesources.org, very easy, simple to use database, and they do one little thing in here that a lot of other sites don't do. Is they list the language that the person speaks, which, a lot of times we're looking at global issues and we want to find a global, an international expert on something. Not all of them speak English, so it's kind of good to know, if they do or they don't. Or maybe they speak a language you speak. Maybe you speak French or Italian fluently, and you can interview this expert. It gives their name over here, links off to their bio, and then also what type of expert they are, and then some keywords on what type of expertise they have, kind of their subtopics. So if I'm looking for a geologist, I can search in the search field up here and look for geology, and there it lists all of the experts, and usually gives their title to their affiliation, Department of Energy or with a university or something like that, MIT or Dartmouth here. A couple of pages typically you'll get. It's a pretty robust database, and it's kind of a good, quick and dirty search tool for finding diverse sources. It's one of those that I go to very quickly. It's not a a lot of bells and whistles with it, and usually it produces a pretty good result. The good thing about using these expert databases is many times the organization has vetted the source, so they know that they're going to be legit. Also, these are people that want to be interviewed by the media, so they're putting themselves into the database. So you're more than likely you're going to get a callback. Any of you who are college professors, teach your students how to use these databases because it's very helpful to them. And oftentimes it's hard, even on their own college campus, sometimes to get a callback or pin down an expert source. So this can be helpful for student journalists, especially, or young journalists who are right out of school and are still trying to kind of build their source list. Another good one comes from National Public Radio, NPR, puts their diverse sources and guests database out there. And made it public. They've just done this in about the past year. What I like about this one, they always have some featured people up here. But as you scroll down, you can search by state, which is really nice. So I can click on Illinois, and it's got their name, when they were added, in their area of expertise. So, as you scroll through here, again, you get some pretty good results here too. Depending, typically on the population of your state, maybe how many universities you have there, things like that. So you can also browse by expertise down here, which is really nice. So if I'm looking for health experts, regardless of city or state, I can go in here and it lists them here, typically with a photo and a short bio with it as well. Some of these are leaner than others. Some of them are, the bios are pretty well written. Some of them are a little leaner. So, you have to go in and click on their name and go a little deeper with it to see, or Google them too. If, the bio in here isn't satisfactory, go out and Google the name. At least it gets you the name and find their homepage, things like that. Typically, they're linked out of their bios, though. There's also some other tools in the experts databases. If you scroll down here, people of color also know stuff. This one was just redesigned not long ago. You can go in here and search. It'll produce real robust results. As you scroll down here too, a couple of them, Women Also Know Stuff. It's got about 1,600 experts in that database. We also have LGBTQ experts in here. 500 Women Scientists database. This is really good with STEM and healthcare. That we're getting women who are experts in our stories. It's not just all guys in the stories, which we see a lot of as we go through and evaluate our stories. Queer Scientists database has 500 scientists in there, which is really cool. We also have Twitter lists, Black health experts on COVID-19, diverse sources by category for COVID-19. That's also as an NPR database. This Women's Scientists database is pretty cool. You can type in a location here at the top or an expertise, country even, but I'll type in Chicago here and just give you a quick overview of it. It moves a little slow. It's got a map that's built into it. And here it produces, regardless of subtopic, all of the experts listed in Chicago, all the women who are experts in different areas of science, all listed in here. So it's interesting that one expert was math anxiety. Boy, that'd be good for journalists. A little math anxiety. So you can use these pull-down menus to limit it and filter it out by specialty, discipline, a certain race or ethnicity, a certain zip code if you wanted to get that specific. But you could go in and limit it down to STEM, and then it would filter out everybody that's not in the STEM fields. And it also lists some of their keywords here that make them searchable, and you can save these. It's nice, you can kind of bookmark these experts too, and it'll you can go up into your folder then and pull them up. The login for this is free. You can also dig in by clicking on their bios and vetting them a little more. Another good one, and this one's kind of a broad-based search tool, Expertise Finder. If you're ever at the ONA conference, the guy who runs this website's often there, and he has a booth. I've met him. He does a really good job. It's a search engine to find experts from universities. You have to have a .edu email address to get in here. He does vet the experts as well. So I can go in here and type in, COVID-19 and not 109, 19, and it'll give me back a list of profiles here that I can go in and see, I mean, some of these are, people that work in healthcare policy. This guy's, specialist in COVID and tourism, so there's, it's not all science and STEM in this one. It covers a very broad range of topics. So Expertise Finder is kind of a, more if you're starting with kind of a broad search and trying to narrow it down. Google Scholar also is a good place to go and look. It searches thousands of journal articles. It's a good place to find expert sources. You can go in here and I can type in, racial profiling, and it'll give me back journal articles on racial profiling. As you can see, some of these names of the authors are underscored. You can call up their page, look at their homepage, or follow them. You'll get an email then whenever this expert publishes a new academic article. It lists other articles that author has produced. And you could go in and call up their homepage. In this case, this dude's page is broken, unfortunately. But you can go in and pull up their bios typically. Sometimes it even has their email address out here. So you can just write to them directly. And that can make for a good expert source. More often than not, though, you're not going to get a broken link there. You're going to get one that will work. Here's one, Tara Quinlan. And it's got her verified email address so that she's affiliated with the University of Birmingham, and you can go in there. It lists other University of Birmingham professors. Doesn't have her bio link listed here, but you could Google her and find her pretty quickly. So again, another good way to find expert sources. So just as a reminder, journalisttoolbox.org. It's a free site. It's linked off the SPGA homepage. Take advantage of it. We've got all kinds of helpful tools up here: transcription tools, copy editing tools, math for journalists, expert sources, investigative journalism tools. Public records is a very popular page as well. We have a lot of training videos out on the homepage as well. So do take advantage of this free resource, and we'll see you next month on our next video.